Oh, fuck.
Oh no, I said a bad word. Oh no. I'm sorry. Cuts back to the game, and all I see is Have you tried? This is out. Like you can actually play it. It's just an update to CS:GO. Yeah, no, it's like a 28 gig update. I will say. If you did want to. No, this is just. No. I don't necessarily. I don't know. I was just give us. Yeah. I'd say just go with it. Yeah, when you see beat. Like a way to think about it is just. What's the timer? Go ahead. Trust me. I know. Fair. It literally is the thing of the. I don't. Who is the team? No, I'm saying what's his. Nah. All right. There's shit prepared. That was 10 minutes. Remember that because of the whole issue. I'll just do it myself. Thank you. Hold on. What's up? You gotta have it like a tie. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the latest stream of the Bridgewater College varsity esports team. I am Jacob, or Jaking, and I am joined by Irene, a very special. I am definitely very excited as match we got coming. Have our very own Valorant roster versus Northern Virginia Community College, and I'm definitely very excited about this because Nova like has been in a lot of other also done on our team, but with the way our guys are playing, I'm definitely I was gonna say goals are all that. Right, it'll be just a second, but we are going to be getting into our introductions very soon. Everything. We're going to be kind of talking about the players, talking about the match, and then we'll also be getting into picks and bans of maps. I'm very curious, especially because what's your favorite agent? The you're going to kind of go more into like what agents would specifically. So I'm definitely very curious to see what exactly is. So I think a lot of people find this game. It takes something as simple as like a game kind of and adds a very different and fun things like like elements from MOBA games, League of Legends, Overwatch, bringing in different character which allow for a lot of because in certain games, like especially like games like all those types of things, like kind of depends because Valorant really has you like really think definitely, especially like if you don't have a good team in depth, very wrong, and it could lead not necessarily lose, but definitely a lot harder. But I think with this, I think we'll into our introduction. Okay, go ahead and get it. So we can kind of go ahead and introduce the players, kind of get into all that stuff. It makes sense for someone who is a their main like one of their favorite agents because Sage is a very versatile agent. Like even like compared to I'd say like even does have a lot of ways to really hold down a even something plus her wall or her it can still enable your team, especially if you're getting very choke points in very much like so Jet is more of a duelist, but I understand like having like a lot of different but so the way that an initiator works, those of you who are fairly new to Valorant, an initiator is essentially somebody who works together with someone like a duelist or controller, and they essentially help find things like recon. They help try and get into certain positions. Like for example, if you're trying to make a push on a map like Ascent, typically you'll see a Sova, and Sova has what is known as an owl drone. The drone can push in to sight and be able to mark if tagged, and the duelist can take up with be able to create space for their initiator just allows their duel. Yes, you typically duel kind of go in with something like I or K, but any of those could typically or initiate. They have to really play around, especially with like having a absolute synergy, especially in a game. Like it is something incredibly have good synergy. If you're kind of all over, it's gonna kind of fall apart. You gotta be able to play your roles, and even if you can't do that, you gotta be like get your team. Like there's absolutely even if you are like not doing very well in and getting like kind of taken out, like, even providing like enough information in the round, it can do a whole. Even if your stats don't. Two very, very typical controller character. You typically so a controller is they essentially put up smoke. So what this does is cut off sight for certain opponents. Like me personally, I am a strict owner. Like I tend to like playing mind games with like being able to put smokes down, being able to teleport around blind, just be able to. So when it comes to being able to controller is a very very because they really allow your team to have clearer ways to win. And if you don't have a controller, you're gonna really because the enemy's gonna have so many easy counter you. I like to think of a controller as kind of similar to Overwatch. Like they are some very crucial goals, but if you have somebody that severely gonna other team initiator, seen that in a lot of pro play. But a controller is something you almost never see. Our team always has some really get those covered. That way they can get their team find kind of essentially. I do think that some teams have a controller, but I do think it is something very very. If you're not able to have that, it's definitely gonna make sense for someone who entry fragger to be a neon player and be have a. So neon is insanely quick and can be very tricky. Not to mention her stuns being able to stun two areas at once. First one, in initial contact, it's the other can bounce. So like if some say like as we're sent or that if you're trying to go onto B site, since there's like a little elbow kind of thing, if you're able to bounce it off the wall, if somebody stun one person, they're trying to push in, you can stun more. So it is yes, it's like you have one that sticks and then one that bounces. Essentially, but the entry fragger, in my opinion, is one of the well because if you someone that get in there able to create space for your team, it is going to really because you need somebody who can be aggressive, who can really get the, not. No, I don't believe. So Raze and Phoenix are to be out of entry fragger, especially Raze because her satchel launcher, especially if you're a judge or a lucky, like weapons like can just do a lot for them. So I'm definitely just like very curious out of them, especially with them having two, uh, like two people who bangers on they're gonna. So two entry fraggers are pretty important. I feel like one is probably gonna be action. Like if somebody's running something like Jet, Jet is someone that can really help create and really create those. But I feel like that could be base old, but with that I'm not fully sure what we're actually gonna.
I've seen low pace kind of game. Like most people don't really because they prefer something like Overwatch or Apex where it's fast, gotta pay attention. As for this game, it's more everyone matters. And you gotta take your.
Yeah, you definitely have to take your time into things because something that you see a lot that is uncommonly talked about is that like their playstyle is very very different than how say us casuals fun they play it in same different where they will have so many different they could probably fake going onto one side, going onto one side, going on another, and ultimately trying to get their that allow them to really take that control.
Me what?
So a sentinel is essentially locks down a site. Essentially, what this do, they will say we're on something like just descent is a play. A sentinel would be something like a KJ, Killjoy, chamber, stage, deadlock, any of those types of agents. What they essentially do is fight. That way, if they're rotating over one side or they're trying to hold, essentially the person is like kind of like an. If they need to rotate, that sentinel, if like their team needs to fight, that sentinel to really help them like find their way and like really hold time for their teammate. Whereas that's on defending, but if attacking, you use it on a lot of might be affecting them. Like on again, like if you're trying to go through B site, you have that elbow once again. If say a KJ is alarm bot there, turret in a, you can have so many different. That way, it's like already like, oh, I'm getting onto. Oh wait, there might be some flank. KJ can know immediately.
You're talking about this. Mention how you maybe other teams.
I don't think it's
it out or
so. I don't know if it would essentially a whole lot to really do. Like a lot of them. Essentially, like a sentinel is good, but sometimes we actually see. I've actually seen some protein actually without sentinel initiators, controllers, duelists. A sentinel is very very good. Is lockdown site. But I don't necessarily think it's something have it compared to like down. Like if your duelist goes down pretty quickly, like and you haven't even gotten onto, going to cause all, gonna cause you to kind of panic. Okay, how are we supposed to get in? You have to waste more util.
my experience Overwatch. Have two the support starts falling and sometimes it's coverable.
Yeah, it definitely is very unrecoverable. Like especially for something as important, they support and that. But I feel like Valorant, it can definitely be, yeah, you're not gonna have the, but at the same time, you have ways around it. Like say your controller goes down, and you don't really have someone fights. So what you could essentially do is if you have something or like maybe you're going to aggressive Yoru, just kind of throw them off. You have a bunch of flashes to essentially like blind the enemy or cause them to have to try reposition and give your team more time to move. It's definitely something that like could still be something like. An initiator just kind of as I kind of as said earlier with like they're just like they're the ones really kind of find that information. Like Sova and Fade are two, like as Recon, Sky is kind of really do a lot of damage. Really getting in with her dog and her flashes, along with her. So she's more of an aggressive sentinel initiator. So essentially, what these allow their team find information, providing information or providing information and help to duelists. Like a KO would use his use one of his abilities to disable the ability of the enemy, which allows the duelist to move in. KO can also flash, same as Sky, using those to really help their duelist find those entries. Because once that's able, it can really.
So Valorant is
I personally love the game. Like, I have a bit of a weird overall standing with the game. I absolutely adore it. It is very, very fun. Right? But the game does tend to get very frustrating. That's just the name. Happens with. I still love playing. I'm not gonna lie, our time. It
there are
infuriates me.
times when Doesn't feel fun right now.
No, not at all. Like the game is still fun regardless, especially if you're trying to get in. You want something different from Overwatch. So I definitely think getting into it. You know? Like if you really want to change up and you want to change up from Counter Strike, yeah, very. But I definitely think it also helps like, kind of like heck, you might not even be close to like familiar like Overwatch, Legends or anything like that. It can kind of give you those little elements, like abilities. It can really teach you that way. If you want to get into, you can really like you can get into them. Me personally, I played both Overwatch. I loved both, but I love them both. Overwatch is much more fast paced and intense, and Valorant is like something that really requires stuff that you think about, like, oh, how can I am down 1v2. What can I do here? And like, there's so many ways that you can back. Like, I've been down in clutches where it's like a 1v, and just by using my abilities properly, you can do a lot to turn.
I don't Valorant kind of game mostly because all the clips I watch, it has a lot of things. Overwatch is characters like break.
I definitely recommend giving it a try. Maybe just like even maybe you want something watch. I don't. But if you go from Valorant to Overwatch, you're gonna see a stark contrast. So for those of you out there who want to try it, try Valorant if you're into Overwatch, but be very different style. Same with people play. Um, yeah, I definitely like agree that Valorant is very very fun. Because like coming from my personal experience, I have hours long like picking a have clocked in, which like compared to some games isn't so. Like overall, I do have a decent enjoy. It's definitely that can come across as dating to play because there's a very famous scene that I remember watching it from the Valorant Champions. That happened just. I don't remember which team it was. I believe it actually was PRX versus no, because EG got knocked into. I'm just trying to fully remember it, but essentially, all you see is just so many ultimates and other abilities coming out all at one time. If you're a casual observer, you're just looking at this like, what's going on here? What am I watching?
That game, tiny detail. I did. I think
I, I definitely think the thing about League, I remember playing it at first. I had absolutely very excited.
hmm,
So I'm like very excited about what's exactly League. Like I love the game.
hmm.
Very frustrating. If you're not able to really play properly, you're just gonna get snowballed like crazy. So so annoying. Like to deal with something. Overall, like it's very difficult trying to figure out. Like if one of my friends, then I'll go. I definitely think it was very very.
So for League of Legends, I've attempted all the roles. The ones that I've stuck bot lane. Also, sometimes I do mid lane. Not playing with any of my friends. Basically, more like my opinion. You just have to find the right group of people to play with in order to make it fun. friendship can help out in a game because of synergy. If you know your friend, you know what they're about to do. You know if they're about to rush into a fight without thinking, or you know that they're gonna run away. But yeah, basically, kind of synergy thing.
Definitely. So I believe we are actually going to be going ahead and getting into our very first match. We are going to actually be on Breeze for our very first map, which I am very excited because Breeze in the most recent update actually had a huge over. Um, so for those of you who haven't played Breeze before the update and everything, because it was taken out in the previous season, what essentially happened? Breeze was a very open map, especially in mid. Like you can see right here typically, like right as you see on the map where you giant middle area, that is like what it used to look like pre-patch, where it was insanely open. Now they kind of blocked that area off and added a lot more different routes. They kind of cut off certain areas, but yeah, I'm definitely curious to see what we're going to see here. So on the side of Bridgewater College, we have a Brim, a Neon, a Viper, Sky, and a Yoru. While over on Nova, we actually have Jet, Chamber, Harbor, Reyna, and Sky. So looking at
The thing going on here, anything is
So something that I'm definitely very curious to see is we're seeing Reyna on Bree. Reyna has historically been like a pretty good agent, like at a lot of like lower ranks from what I've seen, but has been brought out in pro play, especially by teams like PRX, which unfortunately did lose in VCT, but I was very curious because we actually do see two controllers on the side of Bridgewater College. The thing about having two controllers is that you have a lot more ways to cut out like angles, especially wanting something like Viper, where as you can see, her wall is currently placed up through B, kind of locking that area out in order for something to really happen. As we can see here, all of them are flooding currently onto site. Brim is able to find an elimination onto Chamber there, whereas Reyna is going to be able to get that trade. So Bridgewater is going to have to try and rotate. Is Empty going to be able to find a pick? Unfortunately, they are not. So, but I believe that is going. In a situation like this, it's very tough because Sky has to be the one really trying to get the flashes in. You got to look away, and they do get a flash. I believe they might know that there is something there. We do see Reyna is. They do not find that elimination, because if they find that elimination, Reyna's going to be able to heal themselves pretty quickly. We do see them currently trying to team up, but unfortunately, they do get eliminated. So Reyna is currently hiding right below stairs. They're probably going to try and peek the Viper here. They have to watch your right. And the Reyna does find a elimination there onto the Viper. All right, we are going to go ahead and get into the next round. I wonder if we'll see like a bit of a change up with everything. So the way that I noticed is that they are going to be trying to kind of flood onto one site specifically, because as you can see here, they're kind Bridgewater is kind of doing a 3-2 split, 3 on A, 2 on B. Viper probably watching mid, but I believe we see Yoru actually currently rotating. But it seems like Nova is going to actually try and go for an all A push again. We do see Chamber trying to go through mid, but the Viper wall is going to cut it off. We do see Jets already getting in. Same with Sky and Reyna and Harbor. All of them are flooding in. Empty has to try and find a pick on the Reyna. They do get two, luckily. They are able to find two eliminations there, but unfortunately, Brim is going to be traded out, getting eliminated there from Harbor.
Gun here.
Very good idea, marking the weapon there, getting the Bulldog, which is very strong, especially at a very early round like this. They have to be so careful because it is a man advantage, but if they're not playing correctly, it can definitely go wrong. It is a 2v2 situation. They are able to find the pick. Are they going to be able to find a pick onto the Neon? They are, and is going to be 2-0 up to Nova right now. So the thing that I've noticed is that BC is able to find a lot of good picks. They just really have to follow up on trades that happen. So essentially what we see is that like sometimes they'll all be kind of in the same general like position, and it can sometimes help. But what you want to make sure is that if you see one of your teammates go down, you want to be able to follow up on that and be able to really just get them into a position that kind of helps them out. Right here, we do see the Marshall front coming out from snap on the brim there. They got to get the Skydog out there. They are going to be able to get that out there. Got to watch for the Harbor ult. Is he going to be able to find a elimination onto the Harbor? No, they are not. But we do see Monty actually getting a very good elimination onto Arena there. The Harbor does go down once again to Monty. The Jet is going to be trading Neon out.
It's like overpowering them with the numbers game at this point. Yeah. It looks like how they're going. Nova is sticking together wherever they go, but splitting up. So Nova is overpowering BC. That's what I'm looking.
I think kind of as we were talking about earlier, they don't have a sentinel. Like in a game like this, especially in a map like this, and the way that they're playing, not having a sentinel can definitely mean something pretty bad for your team. So you have to be able to lock down the sites and be able to hold the enemies off if you're trying to rotate over. Because as you can see, they're constantly being split. But I think that Bridgewater is going to be predicting that they are going to go try for another A split here. They're all going to be rushing in. Reyna is almost eliminated there. We do see the Jet. Is Monty going to be able to find the pick? They are with the shorty. Very well played there. So are they going to be able to find the pick onto the Reyna? Ooh, they are going to be able to find one. A very tense situation right now. They do have the man advantage. The Brim Smokes is able to cover them pretty well. They do get the Yoru Flash, but it's not going to be able to find anybody. We do actually see Sky rotating into mid. I think they have to really watch this, because if they're not able to watch this, it's definitely going to mean business. We do see Empty watching it. Are they going to be able to find a pick? No, they're not. Very, very unfortunate there from Bridgewater. They had a very good advantage, but I believe they had to really... Well, Sky
had a pretty good advantage. That was quite a play. That was actually
definitely. That was a very well played round there. Like, we saw them, even at slightly down a man advantage, they were moving back. They were trying to really group up together, which allowed them to really find that position in. So very curious to see what Bridgewater is actually going to do. Bridgewater currently has 3 on A. They're going to have to really try and predict it, but we do see the Chamber and the Reyna actually trying to push through mid over to A. And we do see the Harbor coming out once again. I believe this is round 2. Ooh, snap. Finding a very good elimination there onto the Jet. He has to watch above. Is he going to be able to get the Reyna? No, he's not going to be able to predict it. Reyna does get the pick. Spike does go down. They have to watch Reyna. Reyna is constantly hiding in that corner. He has to be careful. Is he going to be able to find it? No, he's not. The door is going to be opening, so he's going to pop. He's going to pop the Yoru. He's marking where the Reyna is. He has to be insanely careful, because if he's not able to pop this into a proper area, he's going to find a pick. We do see the Chamber is currently hiding back pretty far. Chamber does have a very easy way to find an elimination here. He has to be so careful because he is running the op. Are they going to be able to find a pick? Oh, the Chamber is actually able to find them there. We do see the Sky also hiding there onto... It is a bit unfortunate for Bridgewater at the moment, currently up 5, with Nova currently up 5-0. They have to play a lot more organized, because I feel like they are holding back a lot of times, because Nova is just able to get so much map control, and it's not really giving them any opportunity to really push in here.
Right here.
So when I was talking about earlier about duelists kind of making... Every now and then you'll see Reyna and Jet typically be the first ones onto site, because Empty and everything, they are the entry fraggers. They're trying to make sure that they are finding those eliminations. We do see the Reyna blind coming out. Skydog might find actually the Brim, but no, I don't believe it is. They have to be careful with the Reyna ult. The Reyna ult is going to do a lot if they're not careful. Empty is able to find a very good elimination onto the Reyna, just getting that ult out of there, but they have to be very careful, because Oreo, it does have the Jet on that operator right now. The op is a very, very dangerous weapon if you're not prepared for it. Could be a very beneficial situation, because we see the Harbor currently hiding around the corner. They have to be careful with the Jet. Jet is currently isolated. They can find the pick here. They are going to be able to find a pick. It is currently a 2v3 situation. That play is so safe. They are going to be able to find one. They're going to get the flash. Are they going to be able to find the pick here? No! Harbor is actually able to find the pick. They have to play so safe. But Byungst is able to find a very good pick with the Phantom there. They are going to be able to take that round there. Not really able to be heard, but you can hear them getting very hype over there.
They're very happy about that. That was very close. That was very close to losing, though.
Especially in a situation like that, I feel like what they definitely could have done is try and peek it at the same time rather than like this is something that I struggle with when I typically play. I've noticed is that sometimes you will typically have players that will not necessarily players that do it, but it's just a general habit is that you'll want to just peek them as quickly as possible without really coordinating with your team. But what that does is essentially put you at a very heavy disadvantage because you're going to be wasting a lot of util just to really get yourself in there. And so if you only peek one by one, you're just going to get picked off pretty easily. So you have to be careful. The Harbor ult coming out once again. They are just making sure that they are so pressured right now. They have to be careful. Jet could get a very nice pick here. The Jet is able to find the pick onto Snap there on that Brim. Empty, unfortunately, only having a classic at the moment. I believe after that last round, they did lose a lot of their econ. So it's going to be very tense. Empty doesn't realize that the Reyna is behind them at the moment. Definitely a very rough situation, but with how weak everybody is, they could essentially find some picks here, but no, Oreo's not going to be taken down, and unfortunately, it is going to be a flawless round for Nova there. Nova is playing this insanely well. Like, they know that they are insanely weak over on A site, so they're just taking that advantage, just running it through.
I don't think I haven't seen them, like, split up completely. Like, of course, that one match where the one individual split, but the entire time they just together and like overpowering with their ability.
That's the thing, especially with something like a Harbor ultimate, that really causes you to move because if you don't put yourself in a good position, you're going to get easily taken out and found because the enemies can hear like the charge up essentially and then the stun. Oh, this is going to be a very unfortunate situation. Two are going to peek onto Snap, who only has a classic at that point. They had to be so careful. Are they going to be able to find a pick? No, they're going to get flashed by the sky. No, Reyna is going to be able to find the pick onto the Viper. It's a very tense situation. Unfortunately, they do go down. Monty is able to find a pick with a shorty. They're going to try and pick up the Vandal, but unfortunately, does get picked off there.
If you see one of my creatures, it's a good thing, all right? Figure out
For
what
B,
they do eventually.
Of course, every single time they've been playing, because they never know what Nova is gonna do. But the problem is Nova hasn't changed up their playing style yet. So, point is, like more of a risk.
While I understand wanting to try and like play. The thing with how Nova is playing, constantly going the same site, like you have to be able to really just try and find yourself into some good angles. They are going to try and get very aggressive here. Oh, they are going to be able to find a pick onto the Jet there. Very well played. They're going to be able to find the Reyna. They're just playing the same aggressive play style. There's going to be a 4v1 situation already. They can just get so aggressive onto the Sky. Brim does have his stim beacon. They can just get so aggressive right now. We do see the Sky Dog coming in. Is not going to be able to find anybody. So we are going to see Sky currently rotating back around. They're probably going to go through B site because it doesn't seem like there's anybody there. But we do see Brim trying to rotate through mid, really trying to lock this down. But I think Guy might actually be going for a opposite rotate. I'm out. You see the Brim smoke up. It's a very tight situation. He try and be careful because either way he's essentially in a crossfire. One wrong guess and he is going to get taken out. He takes the quick peek. Is he going to be able to find it? No, he's not going to be able to find it. And Buffalo is able to find that pick. Very well played there from Bridgewater. See, something like that is essentially what you want to do in a situation like this, is that you want to try and make sure that like you are able to predict where your enemies are going and be able to kind of play to that advantage. Like, oh, they're playing aggressive. Okay, I might as well just play aggressive as well. I might as well just get in their face, find those eliminations, because if you're able to do that, you're going to cause havoc to the enemies.
Unlike last time where when it was a 1v like 4 or 5, instead of rushing completely in, they actually stood there and waited instead of all rushing in, which I thought was
definitely. I think
from their past.
Something I like to think about when it comes to games like this is that when you're in a situation where you have the man advantage, you want to think of it as if you're in a fighting game. So essentially, in fighting games, you can be into a neutral stage where it's both players are kind of in like an advantage state. Both teams don't have either advantage state, but what you can essentially do is really kind of play around it. And since you have the man advantage, like, ooh, unfortunately they are going to get picked off there. We saw the weapon just peeking out very closely to the smoke there. They're not going to be able to find a pick. It is a 3v2 situation. It is going to be a 2v2 situation. Yoru is really, really back. He does have his ult, but I think he's going to probably save it. The Sky is currently watching mid. Viper had to try and predict it. Is Viper going to be able to get the pick? No, he is not. He's not going to be able to find the pick. Oh, the recoil is getting a little out of control there. Unfortunately, he doesn't have time to defuse. He's going to have to move back here. This is not a very advantageous situation. The good thing is, however, is that the Sky got taken down and Chamber kind of wasted. So the Chamber didn't really get a whole lot of value there. We do currently have 2 rounds left in the half. And this could be a very major turning point for both teams. But as I was talking about with like the fighting game example, is that when you have the man advantage like this, I like to think of it as if you're in either in an advantage state in a fighting game, because one person is very low on health, and if that's not you and you have so much health, you basically have to try, the person who with the lowest health basically have to try and get in your face. They have to be the one to really make that aggressive play, because all you can do is just play defensive. You have the lead. There's no reason for you to be pushing in. Reyna and Jet are insanely weak right now. Is Jet going to be able to take it now? No, Reyna is unfortunately going to get that heal there for BC. So it's a very tense situation. Ooh, Snap is able to find a pick there with the Phantom. They are not going to be able to find a pick onto the Harbor there. Harbor is going to be able to get that trade. They're going to get the plant. They have to really watch. Monty is able to teleport out. Very well done from them. Neon coming out. The wall is able to provide a little bit of defense. He's not going to be able to find the pick on the Jet, unfortunately. One, I believe, Chamber is watching behind. Yeah, in a situation like this, they're already starting to push in. Jet's trying to get aggressive. He does take the pull up. Oh, I think he tried to go for the back. I think he tried to go for the back attack there. So very interesting. But unfortunately, BC does lose that round, and we are going to be going to the last round of the switch. In a situation like this, I definitely think BC, just because it's what is known as the curse of 9-3, where if you are currently 9-3 in a round, you're going to get a comeback. You're going to get a comeback. The team's going to get pretty strong and make a miraculous comeback. So if they can win 3, they might be able to get...
Question. I wonder if they're going to... Keep on doing...
Launching smoke.
I mean, BC keeps on doing the same thing, even though Nova has not changed up. Very interesting.
Yeah, in a situation like this, it seems like BC is just predicting them. They're making sure that they're all moved in. Oh, the unfortunate flash is not going to be able to provide any information there. The Reyna is going to be able to find a pick onto the Sky there. Reyna is just so threatening when she has her ult. We do see the Sky's insanely weak. Oh, very good shot going through the Harbor wall. So, have to be careful. They could possibly peek into the Sky or the Chamber there. Sky is insanely weak. If they can find the pick onto there, they can really play advantage to the Chamber. Ooh, very good shot. And they are going to be able to find it. They are going to be able to get 9-3.5. They have to defuse the spike. There we go. I was about to say, I'm panicking that they're not defusing this.
They've just been right about the comeback thing.
About to say, if they're able to play like that, it's definitely going to be something.
They can just shut down the numbers game that they've been, that Nova has been. It'd be a very high chance.
That's the thing. Even when you're down at a deficit, you never want to count yourself out, like in any game. Like right now, a good example of that is the lock-in event that happened back in March, I believe it was, where Fnatic and Loud were going against each other. Fnatic won 2 maps in a row, then lost 2 maps in a row, and they went 9-3 in the half. They managed to bring themselves back together and were able to really find that momentum and win the game. I believe it was 14-12. So if Bridgewater is able to do something like this, they can absolutely make it happen. They are some very tough opponents. Like Nova is playing insanely strong, so I'm very curious to see what we're gonna have here. We do see the Chamber and the Reyna pushing up pretty heavily into mid. Same with Sky. They had to be insanely careful. The Jet is going to be able to find the pick there. Monty is able to get a bit of damage. Ooh, unfortunately, it is already a 2v5 situation. Jet and Harbor getting insanely aggressive. Harbor's just really using those walls to just try and push them back. They are going to be able to find a pick. Are they going to be able to find any more? No, they are not.
Last player standing.
Oh, boy.
some good
It is a bit of a tough situation right now. It may be 3-10, but they can definitely come back here. The unfortunate thing is that they lost the pistol round, which is definitely not ideal. You want to be able to kind of keep that round going, because if you win that round, your econ will go pretty crazy. Especially if you win the next subsequent round, you get into what is known as a bonus round, where you keep all of your stuff from the previous round. And if you win it, your econ is flourishing. You can get full buy. You can help your team and everything if they can't buy. So, very curious. But right now, they're going to have to go into a save. Harbor is moving very, very close up right now. They have to be careful. Is the Harbor going to try and peek through the wall? They have to be insanely careful. Harbor is going to peek through, but he's not going to be able to find anybody there. So, very well predicted from both Sky and Brim from BC there. You actually have a Judge coming out. Judge is a very strong weapon, especially like if you know how to play it. Ooh, have to be being inside the smoke. Viper, watch your left, because watch for the Jet. Jet is going to be able to find that, unfortunately. So it's definitely a bit of a tight situation. It is a 4v4. Woo! I didn't even get a chance to react to that.
Spike down mid.
Ooh, they do lose the spike. That's not ideal. We do see the Reyna kind of hiding in a little corner right there. I believe they're just trying to wait for something to pop out and shorty them. Or, oh my gosh, are they going to be able to find the pick? No, they are not going to be able to find the pick. They were trying to go for something a little cheeky there, especially with the Judge, but I believe they did play that very well, trying to find kind of their footing, but have to be insanely careful right now. The util that they have, they can definitely do something, but they have to watch for the behind them, just causing a lot of pressure for them. Jet, as you can see, currently lurking into mid, trying to watch for that Yoru. Yoru, you have to watch above you. You have to watch to your right. Are you going to be able to find the pick on the Jet? No, he's not. And unfortunately, Jet is going to be able to find the pick there onto those two. So, very well played from Jet. Very good flank there.
This place is nice.
We may be seeing. I don't know if it happens. I do know it happens. The team is starting to lose, and so their synergy is off. They're starting to get less, more like emotional. So they start making less good decisions in the
Dad, I definitely do agree there, especially when you're down a huge deficit like this. I know my mentality would kind of be pretty low right now, but in a situation like this, you have to be able to have somebody that's able to hype your team up, able to keep everybody in a good mood. And if you're able to do that, you're able to do a lot for that round. So, we did see a very interesting situation. We do see a 2-3 split for both sides right now. Not both sides, I mean, on to Nova, where Reyna and Chamber are once again holding down that B site with 3 watching A, and the 3 watching A actually have Judges. And Judge is very good close range, but when an enemy team has Vandals, it's not really going to do a whole lot there. You can see right now, they're trying to, I believe, push here. The Sky Flash does get thrown out, but I believe it was able to find that something there they had to be, because the Reyna is currently hiding in the smoke. Same with the Chamber. They all do have Judges. They're going to have to be insanely careful. They are going to get a pretty big rotate here. They could potentially find the plant here. They are going to be able to find the plant, but they had to be so careful. Harbor is going to block that off. Going to be able to hide the Reyna. Reyna could peek from here and find a very good pick. Brim, you have to be so careful. Brim is able to find a good pick there. It is going to be a 4v3 situation, or 3v3 situation now. Very good picks. Oh no, they're just getting dismantled. You have to be careful. They're going to be behind. They're going to be able to find a pick. They have to watch the flank because Harbor could do a lot right now. Harbor have a Judge. He has to try and play for time here. He's going to be he's not going to be able to find the pick, unfortunately. But that was very well played from very well played from Monty. Ooh, it is definitely
a great play by Monty and a great save by Toxin as well.
Definitely, it is definitely very well played. Toxin there, just trying to play it safe, trying to really feel out where Monty is really going to go there. So very well played from him.
Toxin didn't just rush in all willing. Nice.
You'd think with the name Toxin, but you know what? They're playing Harbor, so we're not going to ask questions about that. So it does seem like Nova is going to have a 2-3 split again, with Bridgewater currently trying to figure out what exactly to do. It does seem like they're going to try and go for either a B push or probably an A push through mid. We do see the orb actually coming out. It is going to be able to smoke off just a slight bit, but I don't think it's in a very ideal place. Are they going to be able to find a pick on the Reyna? They are going to be able to find a pick on the Reyna. Very well played there from Snap on the Brim. They have to be insanely careful. They cannot peek here. can't peek here very easily because they are watching that ledge. If they peek that ledge, they are most likely going to get taken out. They have to be so careful right now. We do see the Jet is going to updraft onto there, but is going to be able to get picked off by the Viper. Harbor does get peeked out. Is he going to be able to get picked off? Yes, he actually is going to be picked off there. It is going to be a 2v4 situation on the side of Bridgewater there with Chamber and Sky both watching mid. They could have an easy rotate to A as long as they're able to predict where the Sky is going to go. Guy's getting a very aggressive lurk. He's going to flash, but he's not going to be able to... He is going to find a pick. Oh my gosh, is he going to be able to find a wall? Was able to find so many there, and they are unfortunately gonna lose that round to a very, very well played Bucky shot.
Very well played. Oh my goodness.
Can we talk about that Bucky shot at the end? Like, that man got 2 at the end and then just rolled with it.
Dismantled the entire team.
I definitely think, like, in a situation like that, if they did have some flashes, they probably should have used that to really try and, like, get around it. But very unfortunate, but
I was not expecting that. That was quite amazing.
Yeah, that was definitely a very, very fun game to watch.
It was.
But yeah, I definitely think that Bridgewater's gonna have to try and get their mental back together. They have to really try and like hype each other up. Be like, hey, we may have went down there, but we saw ourselves being able to make a comeback. You have to try and just really get themselves like back into the game. Because if you're not able to do that, it's definitely going to end pretty poorly. So just being able to keep each other in a good mood and good
mindset.
Yes, you have to absolutely have a good mindset, because if you don't, well, but with that being said, we are going to go ahead and take a very quick 5-minute break. So when we get back, we'll be getting on to map number 2, which I believe is going to be Bind, which we will talk about more. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the stream. We just got done with game number 1 on Breeze, going the way of Nova Community College there, but there are a few things that I do want to kind of mention throughout that game. First off, as we saw, that entire last game with, like, the Bucky shot at the end, like, I think the problem there was that the Sky got a pretty immediate flash. They did flash themselves pretty quickly, but they did line up pretty close to one another at the time, which unfortunately led to that unfortunate double elimination. Mm-hmm. So I'm like a little curious how exactly they're going to try and bring themselves back here, especially with their mentalities.
That was, in all honesty, that was kind of insane. I wasn't expecting that at all, because that was beautiful. And the fact that the person took down not one but like 2 of them, and then the other person came in to finish it off, it was like beautiful.
Mm-hmm. I definitely think it was a very, very like insanely interesting play. I believe we saw the Sky was able to get 1. I believe it was the Yoru, and then as soon as that happened, they got 2 there, which led to just a giant snowball at that point. So the
thing is, I wonder how Bridgewater is going to come back from this, because in all honesty, that is a big hit to one's mentality to lose lose in such a way, you know, because at that point you have at least 4 people on your team, and you only have to deal with 2. I bet they were, in all honesty, they might have been thinking, oh, this is gonna be simple, but they were not expecting that.
As I said, once again, as I said earlier, like, I can be in a 1v5 situation and still somehow bring it back. Like,
exactly.
It doesn't matter what your situation is. Like, as long as you're able to play it correctly, as long as you're able to play it pretty well, then it's going to do a lot for you. Like, as you saw there, like, Bridgewater was probably feeling good. They was like, oh, we have 4 up. They have 2. They have 3 down. We have an easy advantage here. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't think unfortunately didn't go the way that they expected, and because of that, it did lead to that unfortunate loss. One thing that I did notice about Bridgewater is that they didn't have much of an entry. Obviously we were talking about who was it again? That was the entry fragger. I believe it was Snap and Empty. No, Snap I believe was the controller player.
It was Monty and Empty. Monty and Empty.
I feel like the problem is the 2 duelists that they were playing definitely could work, but I feel like in that situation it was definitely a little bit rough. Just purely because Yoru and Neon are good, but unless you're really able to work with an initiator or something, they do have other than Yoru, Neon isn't the easiest at entry other than her wall. Her wall can definitely do a lot to really kind of clear out space, but sometimes you can play pretty predictably. Like if you're just gonna go straight through the wall and everything, like you're gonna get easily picked off. So like being able to follow that up with like a flash or something could definitely help. But Bridgewater is gonna have to try and find a good like entry here. They're gonna have to try and change up a bit of their playstyle. Like running 2 duelists is not a bad idea. We saw it happen last game with Nova as well. I think the thing is, they had 2 that were exceptional at getting it. Jet, obviously, with her dash, being able to use her smokes as well, and Reyna being able to use her blind, it can cause a lot of problems. So Bridgewater is going to have to use something like that. Like, even if they want to keep a similar comp, at least, like, maybe change out the... Then again, Bind is a very strong map for your like a character like Yoru. So I wonder if they're probably going to keep running that, but I'm not really sure.
I wonder if they are going to adapt better to, as we saw in the first couple of matches, Nova did not change up their game plan at all. They kept on doing this. They were doing the same exact thing, which was winning. They kept on winning it. I was expecting Beast to stop splitting themselves up and start overpowering them instead, but they continued to do it. Like, I understand in the beginning parts, yeah, but like later on in the game, if they kept on doing the same thing, it would be better to just assume, hey, they're all going here. We should.
Yeah. It is definitely a bit of a weird situation, but as we say this, we are going to be getting into our next match, which is actually going to be on Bind, which is going to be a bit of an interesting one, and we do actually see Monty swapping off of the Yoru to go to a Raze. Raze is insanely good on Bind because there are a lot of choke points that her paint shells can really do damage to. Like, say you're trying to push through mid over to, I believe it's B side. No. B, I believe, is a different site. I'm trying to fully remember my sites. Like, I know where they are. I just don't remember the names. All right? Leave me alone. But because there's a lot of areas that can really get pretty tight and, like, you can essentially suffocate the enemy and use Raze's paint shell grenade to really do a lot of damage here. And we do actually see Nova bringing out a bit of an interesting comp. No, we did see the Jet get a little threatened there, but it does seem like they're going to lock in that chamber once again. They have a very interesting comp. We do see a Viper coming out on the side of Beyonce.
Correct me if I'm wrong. It looks like changed out one of their players. Was
yes. So from what I know, I believe that was actually a sub, and I believe they're actually bringing in like their actual player. So makes sense. I feel like this is going to be something that is definitely going to be scary.
I feel like probably change up because the other round B was already used to that, but with this one player being changed, it might change up the kind of flow they were going for.
Definitely. I'm very curious to see what's going to happen here.
What happened?
I think it's some... Oh, it seems like we might have a bit of an issue, but I'm not fully sure. I believe it was supposed to be Bridgewater on attack rather than Nova. So Nova was actually supposed to be... I believe, yes. I believe Nova was supposed to be a defender, and I believe they're just going to be getting into a small tech pause, so they're just going to get all that sorted out real quick. But let's talk about the comps. Let's talk about the comps here exactly. So when it comes to it, I believe we are I believe for BC like bringing in something like an Omen is definitely going to do a lot here because I do like Brim on Breeze, but I feel like Omen just does an insanely good job, especially on Bind, because there are a lot of areas that can really be contested. Like I'm just saying right here, right where Omen is standing, like you can block off the area, you can block off U-Haul essentially to right and really prevent them from like pushing out in any sort of way. So that can definitely be something that kind of threatens things, but we also don't, we do actually see a Sentinel coming out on the side of BC, which is something we did not see last game. And we actually do see it as a Sage. Sage, I feel like, is definitely going to do a lot here for BC. They're going to be able to hold down sites. They're going to be able to find areas that really allow them to rotate easier, especially using Sage's slow. Like, if they're able to combine Sage's slow with Raze's paint shells, it's going to absolutely do a lot of damage, so.
I think it would be... that are chosen overall. He's going to provide interesting games.
Especially seeing a Gecko come out, which is something I always love. Gecko is such a fun agent to watch and experience.
What are Geckos like?
So Gecko, essentially, what he has is a lot of the community likes to call him Pokemon. Because what they essentially are, they're just little creatures where essentially he has 4 of them. He has Mosh, which is known as Mosh Pit, but most people just call him Mosh. Thrash, which is the ultimate. Dizzy, which is his flash, and then there's one more that I'm completely missing, and I can't believe I am missing it. Wingman. Why did I forget Wingman? He's literally the most popular, but yeah. So essentially, what these do, they are essentially just he's kind of like an all-rounder. He can do initiating like pretty well, like in terms of initiating fights. He can blind. He can find information. He can get recon. But the thing that's also interesting is that with the way that that Gecko plays, is that Wingman can actually help plant Spike. So if they are able to play that pretty well, they're able to be able to plant the Spike without them even being on site. All they have to do is just get him in there, and then can do a lot for him. Whereas Dizzy is his flash. As it doesn't cover it doesn't do like what a typical flash does, where like your screen goes white. It essentially covers it a little bit. But the thing that's difficult about it is that it is hard to avoid. Like you can be behind a wall to avoid it, but if you're not able to shoot it down in time or really predict what it's going to do, it can definitely like get you in a pretty tough situation. But we're going to go ahead and get into this round here. I believe Nova's already going for a pretty heavy B split, B push here. We do see Wingman, as I said, going ahead and getting that plant down there is going to be stopped, but the Yoro is going to be able to find a pick there with the Frenzy, but Monty is going to be able to find a trade onto their Raze. Yoro is actually watching the flank over in that area. Buffalo is able to... Yeah, Buffalo is definitely able to find threat. Snap is going to be able to find a good pick. The Brim doesn't realize that Omen's still there. He is going to be able to find that pick, and it is going to be a very good win on that round for Bridgewater there. See, something like this. You may be down a huge deficit, especially after losing a game like that, but one round can snowball.
Well, up the mindset, up the emotions, make everybody feel more at ease with what they're doing.
Definitely. We have seen things like this before. I've commentated a lot of other events, and one of my first ever commentaries was literally a Game 9 reverse sweep, where it was it is Splatoon, which is my main game I commentate, but essentially one team was down 4-0, and then one team needed one more win. They rallied back and just went. Oh, Nunu, what in the world did you just do?
What was that?
Man just jumped around and then said hi.
That elimination was beautiful.
Man just pulled a SpongeBob. Hi, how are you? That was a very well played there. We do see the Sage slow going out over to U-Haul. They're going to have to be very careful. We do see the Bucky being held by Bionx right now, but 2 are holding U-Haul with Yoron currently watching that corner with the Bucky, and same with the Raze. Ooh, Bionx could have a good chance to get the pick here. No, he is not going to be able to find the pick. Very good crouch there to hide from that Bucky shot. It's going to be a bit of a situation. MD does have a good flank here. He has to watch so carefully. Is he going to be able to find a pick? No, he is not. It is going to be a flawless round. So, again, it's only 1-1 at the moment.
Yeah.
Bridgewater shouldn't let that really sway their momentum.
Shouldn't let that take away from their previous win.
Absolutely not.
I feel that players are Nunu and I've been seeing them do a lot of interesting things.
So the thing about Nunu that makes Raze so the thing that Nunu is doing with Raze is that Raze typically uses satchels to really try and entry in along with like an initiator, and with the way that they're playing, they're using the satchels to really get in and then just fly through it to where it's hard for them to really predict what's going to happen. Ooh, Snap is going to be able to predict the Raze movement once again, getting the pick from Utah. Monty is going to be able to hold below mid there through the smoke. He is going to get the paint shell out. Is he going to be able to find a pick? No, Gecko's going to be able to take the teleporter. He's going to be able to get away. Wait a second, Viper has to be so careful. Yoro is currently rotating in the back. Is he going to be able to? No, he's not going to be able to predict it. What? Very unfortunate there. It is a 3v3 situation, but you also have to take into account that it is currently planted on B. They're all far away from B. If Raze takes the teleporter here, Chamber's going to be able to find that. And we already do see the Chamber is actually currently rotating over to watch that teleporter area. He's probably going to try and set up some util here. No, Snap is not going to be able to find the pick, unfortunately, onto the Yoru. So, it's a bit tough. Monty is going to try and get a peek, but unfortunately doesn't really have much to do. And Threat is going to follow that up with a pick onto Empty on the Neon there. So,
that was quite a good move. Good play. Nova.
For sure. Nova definitely played that insanely well.
That teleport away was...
Yeah, I feel like if they were actually able to get Gecko from going into the teleporter, that would have absolutely been devastating for Nova. But at the same time, the thing is, if they were able to have the teleporter and the spike went down and actually went through teleporter, it would be insanely difficult for them to actually try and get in. They would have to rotate all the way back around, get to the teleporter, and then go in there. They can't really have any other sort of way to go. We do see the Yoru coming out. It is going to be pinging a lot of them right now. Yoru is going to set up his teleporter. I believe Monty is currently watching for that. The Yoru is going to get popped out, but he's not going to be able to find a pick there. Hassan is going to be able to find a pick onto the stage. They are going to be able to stop the wingman from planting. That's going to be very crucial for them right now because it is a 4v3 situation. Monty, are you going to be able to find a pick onto the Brim? The Brim's playing it very well. Monty is going to be able to find a pick there. Omen is going to be able to get the flash out. Is he going to be able to find a pick? He's going to be able to find a pick on the Gecko. The Chamber is the last one. He's currently in U-Haul. He does have the, he did have the judge. He is going to be able to swap it, and it is going to be 2-2. Very well played from Bridgewater there, using their util to their advantage. So, very, very well played there. That right there is a huge, huge momentum shifter. So, the thing is, I feel like it's going to be a bit of a tough situation. I wonder if we'll see Nunu running. Yes, we do actually see Nunu on the judge once again, which it is definitely going to be devastating. If they do decide to go for the same U-Haul push, Monty could easily predict this and be able to just like get Raze before Raze is actually able to like find that pick there. But that is if Raze is actually able to like get in here. I believe we do see the satchels are going to be coming out. Monty, you have to be careful. Watch out for the Raze with the judge. The judge is going to be able to find the pick there. Monty not able to predict it in time and is going to, unfortunately, pay the consequences for that. We do see all the util coming out. Omen is going to get picked off pretty quickly there. Byung's throwing his gun down. I don't know what's going on here. Oh, I believe they're trying to swap guns here. I believe Viper's trying to take the Vandal and swap out the shotgun for the Neon. So,
oh, new news. Nunu's on the hunt.
Nunu is on the hunt. Two of them are on the hunt right now. They're trying to get so aggressive, and they are going to be able to find that round. Another flawless going to the side of Nova there.
What do you think Bridgewater has to do to come back? It's like, what is it, Nunu?
Yes.
Nunu is a big player right now.
Nunu is a beast right now. Like, Nunu is just getting in, getting those picks. Like, Monty tried to predict that Raze was going to be doing the same thing. Like, because that's what Raze has been doing. Raze has been going to the same area, and U-Haul just finding those picks. So, like, they tried their best to really get into a good advantage, but they're not really able to capitalize on it.
To do it. Hopefully they will, though.
Definitely. It seems like, ooh, Nova might actually be going for another B entry, a B entry here. We do see Chamber and Brim currently hiding, currently in mid right now. They're going to have to be able to be careful. Oh my god, Viper. Viper, what are you doing? Are you going to be able to find a pick? They are going to be able to find a pick. Are they going to be able to get two? No, they're not going to be able to get two. But it was very well played. Very well good hiding spot for the Viper there. Had to be so careful. That is going to come out from the Raze empty. Had to be careful. He does have a judge, and he's going to get picked. Are you going to be? Ooh, Buffalo is able to find the pick. He is going to pick up the judge. Is he going to be able to? Oh, watching him right now. Hassan is going to be able to find that pick. Ooh, that was a very unfortunate teleport. I believe that they were going to be able to predict because he split the smoke up there. So out of everywhere, he's probably going to teleport to one of the most safe areas, but is going to be able to get caught for that. So a bit of a tough situation right now for what Bridgewater is trying to do. The thing is, Bridgewater is definitely like playing very well, but there are some some things that are very difficult to really predict. Nunu is like saving a lot of their economy by still going these judges, and one thing that they have to be scared of is that both Razes have their ult right now. That showstopper, if not careful, is going to do a lot. Monty, are you going to be able to get out of there? No, that is a very unfortunate Brim ult for Monty there. We do see the Raze ult coming out. Is he going to be able to find a pick? No, it's not going to be able to find a pick. He's going to teleport away from it. He's going to teleport right into everybody. He's going to be able to find one. He's going to be able to find two. Threat does get the trade out, luckily, though. Going to be a very tough situation. It's a 3v3 right now. The Yoru is currently behind. Is the Viper going to be able to find a pick? No, Viper's not going to be able to find the pick. Buffalo, you had to watch the Yoru behind you. Are you going to be able to find a pick? They are going to be able to find a pick. They have to watch U-Haul because Gecko and Raze are currently hiding there. It is going to be a very tight situation, but Sage does currently have her res. It'll be very crucial. The judge once again from Nunu. He has to watch. He has to watch. Are they going to be able to find it? No, they're not going to be able to, unfortunately.
Still
so
very, very, very beautiful.
Very beautiful from them, but I believe that something might be going on right now. I believe we saw something about ping currently. So I wonder if we might go to a quick tech pause. I'm not fully sure because
Yeah, tech pause, tech.
yeah, I believe we're going to be going to a very quick tech pause. So I wonder what's going on exactly. I feel like it probably is like some small internet issues. Like even if it's strong, it still can sometimes a little jank, but you know. But while we have the scoreboard up, let's take a look at their economy right now. So Bridgewater is definitely having a bit of a rough time due to the amount of rounds that they're losing. Empty and Bionx, like they're doing very good at trying to like keep the pressure on, especially with Bionx really trying to provide smokes and everything. But I feel like they have to try and play more to trading, because you can't just like let your teammates go down. You have to be able to follow that up in some sort of way. So I'm definitely curious to see what we might see as a change up from BC here.
I feel like the player who was switched in really like a little game changer.
Definitely, Threat is being very, very aggressive at this point, and as a Yoru, that's kind of what you're expected to do, especially with his flashes, like his fake clone and everything. If you're able to really play around that, it is definitely going to do a lot for your team, pretty much. So
Fake clones really do mess with people a lot because it's like see it, you get jump scared a little bit. You're like, oh snap, I gotta shoot it. But then when you realize it's a clone, you're like, what did I do?
yeah,
No.
you realize too late, and if you're not able to turn away in time, then you're gonna have a very long flash, and that's not gonna really go well for you. But
very long flash and a very long wait.
definitely. And if Yoru was able to teleport in like right where you shot it, then it's not gonna really end well. I'm
right now, I think the biggest issue that I've been seeing is don't really have a way to shut down Nunu. They haven't been shutting down Nunu. Whenever Nunu gets to like the late part of the game, it's like basically traps.
something that we see really commonly, especially right now. Nunu is just constantly rocking that judge, and what that does is just allows for some pretty aggressive plays. Like we've constantly seen them go to U-Haul over an A, and it allows them to really like get some pretty aggressive map control, because especially on a site like A, how it is kind of fairly small, it does lead to a lot of like control issues. So if you're not really able to take control of U-Haul and you unfortunately lose out on it, it's not going to end well. So you got to really just be careful with that.
It's still 2-5, so most likely come back.
Definitely, it's not like a huge deficit right now. They have to try and play. Play advantage. At this point, they have to try and play a good neutral game, because as we can see here from Nova, they are going to be trying to go for, I think, a bit of a probably going a B split, or they're probably going to try and fake over to A. But it seems like they're all kind of grouped up in the same area. I believe they're going to go for an A push again. All of them going to be grouped up. I believe Nunu, we're going to see them once again go into U-Haul. If they are going to be doing it again, Raze, you have to be careful. You do see the satchels come out. Are they going to be able to find a pick? No, Nunu is going to be able to get pretty aggressive. They are going to be able to find it. Monty is going to find a pick with the showstopper there. Very well played.
Hey, start picking people apart.
Definitely. You have to be so careful.
Oh.
Snap! What in the world did you just do? You just got him through the wall there. Very well played from Snap there. It is going to be a 5v3 situation with everybody currently on site.
Toxin.
Now, you have to be careful. Unfortunately, they do not predict that the Gecko is going to be around their chamber. Is in a pretty advantageous spot over in Showers. Brim is currently pushing through U-Haul. Is he going to be able to find a pick? No, he's not.
Yep,
Unfortunately, Toxin is going to be able to find those picks and take it for Nova there. I'm going to be completely honest here. It's a bit of a crazy situation, but I feel like Raze on the side of BC, Monty, not going to lie, having a judge to counter Nunu would probably be good, because, like, if they're able to get a jump on you, it's gonna do a lot of damage. So, like, if you have a judge that you can counter it with, like, you can easily just take that control back.
Like, cause the way at least I've been seeing it, like Nunu comes up to you, and then boom, dead. But, like, if you can do the same exact thing, you can predict that Nunu's gonna do this, and instead you use it on Nunu, then boom, that could possibly shut down that playstyle that Nunu's been rocking.
For sure, we do.
Like we're seeing.
We do see a bit of a situation right now. They are going to be trying to get to a B flood. We do see the Omen teleporting over with his ult, trying to play very defensive. Oh, Byong's. The Yoru is currently playing very close, but I believe Yoru is going to be marked by a lot of things. He's going to have to be insanely careful, but he does give a lot of information to his team. He might peek around the corner of elbow. The flash does come out. The fake clone. Nunu is going to be able to find a pick. Same with Thread. They're all there on elbow right now. They're all just getting taken down, and Thread is going to be able to find the pick through the smoke there. Very well played from them.
Very well played.
Ooh, boy.
Yeah. Ooh, this is quite something.
It is definitely very interesting right now.
It is. Like, currently, I'm hoping Bridgewater isn't like taking the hit so hard. Maybe like regrouping or something, you know what I mean? Because there is a way to win, but if you start getting hot-headed, you start not listening to each other, that's when it's unfortunately gonna.
Yeah, you definitely don't want to let yourself get too hot-headed here. Bridgewater, obviously their momentum is pretty shifting. Oh, they have no one watching B right now. They're gonna have it. Nova's just going to have such an easy time getting in, and unfortunately, they don't really have much to really hold down that site. Raze is going to be able to pass right through and is going to try and hold down this elbow, but it is going to be smoked off, so they could have a pretty easy way to get through right now. We do see the Omen smoke coming out. The blind is going to be coming in. Wingman is just bouncing off the walls, trying to really find somebody. Snap is able to find a pick onto Threat there. You have to be so careful right now. Brim could possibly pop out behind him. Brim is going to pop out behind him and is going to be able to find the pick onto Snap there. Nunu is going to find a trade onto the Raze. It is currently a 3v2 situation. It's very close. We do see the res coming out from Buffalo. That is going to be insanely crucial, especially in a situation like this. So you can use the man advantage. Nunu is going to be able to find a pick. Cyantrix is going to be able to find a pick on the with the Gecko there. You have to play so safe because if one wrong pick, they are going to be able to get. They are going to get very close. If they cannot get this defused, it's going to end pretty rough. Unfortunately, Snap is not able to pick up that elimination and is going to go once again to Nova there. All right, it's going to be a very similar situation to what we saw last time. 2-8, currently 2 rounds left in the half, so I'm very curious to see what exactly BC is going to do. I feel like in this situation, their mentality is probably pretty low.
Fortunate. Who knows? They might be able to bring this back.
The thing is, they're not really disabling Nunu or Threat in any sort of way. They're able to so easily get into sight that just prevents them from really doing anything. We see 2 ults already popping onto the side of Nova. Oh my gosh, Viper, you had to be so careful. You could be able to find some pigs. They are going to be able to get 2. They do get 3. Are they going to be able to find a pick onto the chamber? No, they're not going to be able to find a pick onto the chamber. It's going to be a 2v2 situation. You have to try and find the pick there. Empty. No.
Come on.
Going to be a very tight situation. He does have a judge. He has to be insanely careful because Raze is currently watching U-Haul. If he can get...
They're about to peek the corner.
No, unfortunately, Nunu is going to be able to find that pick onto Monty there. But can we talk about that triple from the judge there? That was insane.
That
like,
was nice.
That was a big momentum shifter. Like, you know that this stuff can be, like, played advantageously. And you have to try and just capitalize on that. But once again, they're not shutting down players like Nunu. They're not really doing much because Nunu is still holding that U-Haul and is just rolling them right now.
I mean, Nunu and Toxin, the biggest threats, because I've been seeing Toxin's been hitting a lot of different in eliminating people. So
yeah. Toxin is definitely playing pretty advantageously. Ooh, the Gecko flash is going to be coming in. Is going to be able to find the Viper. Viper, you had to be so careful. No. Hassan is going to be able to find the pick there, just firing through the smoke. Who's currently in a reload situation. Nunu is getting very aggressive. Once again with the judge. Nunu is going to be able to find that pick there. It's going to be a 2v5 situation. Very, very tense. We do see the Yoru actually coming around through CT spawn. Very good pick on there from Snap, but they're going to have to watch behind them because... and so much noise, I could easily predict this. Monty's not able to find the pick onto Threat there with the judge. We do see the Omen teleport coming out, though. So, this could be a situation where they could possibly do something. A bit interesting shooting the wingman there because I don't know if wingman would have really marked him. We do see the flash coming in. The Your flashes are just coming in. They're trying to play so aggressive. He has to be so careful. Is he going to be able to find a pick on a threat? No, threat's going to play that very well, using his flashes to his advantage. But Snap was playing very well with Omen there, trying to really find like good teleport angles, and he did get himself into a pretty safe spot. So
I think currently the advice at Bridgewater right now is you have to be more adept, because right now I honestly don't think up the
I feel like another problem that is lacking with Bridgewater is that they don't have an initiator. They have a sentinel, 2 duelists, and 2 controllers. An initiator is absolutely crucial in a lot of areas, especially when you're trying to push in. Because, yeah, you can have a lot of other people that are able to, like, cut off sightlines, like a controller or anything. But if they don't have an initiator that's really able to find information for them or, like, flash them properly, it's, like, they're not going to really be able to do much.
Like they're missing very important aspect to their...
Yes, they are missing a very crucial aspect because Gecko, like... what they're able to do to benefit Nova is that he's able to flash, he's able to plant Spike down, he's able to have a lot of advantages to really just like make sure that they don't really get a lot of easy angles.
On hits Buffalo.
We do see it is currently a 4v5 situation. They're all flooding onto site. Omen is going to get a pretty risky teleport, but Hassan is going to predict that luckily. Oh my god, we do see the Raze coming in. The Raze is going to be able to find the pick there, but unfortunately Toxin is going to find the pick onto Bionx there, so... bit of a rough situation at the moment for Bridgewater right now. They're holding on by a thread. They have to absolutely find a comeback here.
Remember what you said about 11-3?
9-3, yeah. 9-3 curse, but unfortunately they didn't get that. It's going to be a 10-2 half. So they have to really play to their advantage. But the thing about them that is going to cause a bit of problems is that with the way that Nova is playing, they have a lot more advantage, especially with their econ, because they're it seems like Bridgewater is kind of going for more force buys. Oh, I don't realize that the Raze is currently hiding around the corner. No, Thread is actually able to find the Raze. Is he going to be able to find? Is he going to be able to find the Sage? He's going to be able to get the pick on the Sage. That was a very unfortunate moment there for BC that is going to cause a lot of havoc. We do see the Wingman coming. Wingman is going to be able to get the stun. They're not able to follow up with it though. Bridgewater definitely should have tried to follow up there with that wingman. So, that's definitely something that, like, I was very curious about. So, I think we have something
I think
a
they
little...
just said knife.
I
What does that mean?
think so. I'm not
Oh,
fully
are they
sure
about to-
what
are they
exactly
about
is
to
going...
melee?
I don't know what's going on right now.
They're having a 1-on-1 melee battle right now. Oh. That's interesting.
It is definitely interesting. I wonder, like... I wonder how this is going to go.
Everyone's doing it.
Mm-hmm.
One at a time. All
Alright, so... Alright, let's see how this goes exactly. Dropping all the weapons. Dropping all the weapons. They're all just kind of grouping up right now.
Okay,
This
this
is
is like Threat versus Monty first.
I believe they're
no.
going to have... I believe they're going to be Threat versus Monty. I'm not fully sure.
Like Threat is a... Oh.
Ooh, they do get
Snap.
that. On Snap. Come on, Snap. You got to get it. Thread's
Snap
currently
versus Threat.
75. He has to play it very careful because I believe he did have full shield there. All right, so we do see it starting again. He has to be so careful. Snap. Oh, Thread's going to be able to find the pick there onto Snap with a knife. Oh, my lord. This is a bit of an interesting situation right now.
It is. Who's
Oh, Pablo was able to get the pick there. Very well played. Oh, my gosh. He's going to heal himself.
Oh.
That's why he's so safe with Brim here. Just trying to feel each other out. He's going to be able to get the knife. He has to play so safe.
Yeah.
Nice. Buffalo is able to get very good
At least
pick
get
there.
a hit on it. At least get it.
Yeah, he has to be very careful because he insanely weak one hit, and it does take him down. Is he going to be able to find some damage? He's going to be able to find some damage onto Raze. Is going to go over to, I believe that is Bionx. Bionx is just going for the stab. He's just trying to find him there. He's trying to play it insanely safe.
Like just by Nunu's playstyle, he might be really good at melee weapons.
I believe so. Nunu is just chasing Monty.
Monty is running.
Nunu is currently chasing Monty, not letting him just really
so
move. Yeah, I believe they're going to try and get the plant down here just to make sure that everything keeps going. So, bit of a weird situation.
Oh,
Yo!
oh, beautiful.
Monty, what was that?
Oh,
Oh, he does get the right click. Is he gonna be able to get? He does get the right click again. It is going to be Gecko. It's the last one.
yeah, and
Oh,
He
he's
actually
just accepting his
accepted
fate.
that
He just
defeat.
accepted his fate, and Bridgewater
Oh.
does actually take that.
very, very interesting.
Definitely very interesting.
He
Just-
thinks he's Thorpe. That's a fun.
I-
That was a funny comment.
Yeah, I think
just
they're.
said, bro thinks he's Thorpe.
Okay,
If you haven't watched a show called Vinland Saga, you won't understand it. But that was.
back to normal. Yeah, we're going back to normal here. So it was a bit of an interesting
A
situation.
little bit to cool off. A little cool off.
I mean, yeah, nothing wrong with that, but oh boy, I'm looking over on the side of Nova right now. I believe they're all kind of running Odins, which is, oh my god, they're going for an all A site right now. Oh my god, Nunu,
Oh
what
my
in
God.
the world just happened?
What in the world? What did I just witness?
Oh my gosh. Empty, let's go. Empty is able to find a pick there. They do see the race hole coming out. It's going to
Oh
get
my-
picked off, and it is going to
Oh
be the
my-
side of
that
Nova
was-
taking
that.
that.
Whoa.
What in the world was that? Just
They-
what a way
they-
to end the
that is-
game.
From a melee fight to
Whatever that was.
whatever that was. That was interesting.
That
My
was definitely
goodness.
very interesting.
Oh, I think the knife thing was quite.
That's
The,
definitely-
the melee fight was pretty cool.
it was definitely very
The
cool. I
way-
thought it was very funny.
It was.
But yeah, unfortunately, that is going to be Bridgewater's first loss in the
Hmm.
league. It is going to go 2-0 to Nova. But
But
regardless for how their opponents played, Bridgewater definitely put up a very good fight. Definitely
Exactly.
did their best. So
and
I'm
still-
very curious to see how they might bring it back here.
Yeah, and still, this is only the beginning. There's only one way to go, and that is, increase your skills, increase how you are with your team, and who knows, maybe seeing a victory in the near future.
Definitely, I'm very curious to see. They do have a lot of time to really prepare and like
Uh-huh.
practice themselves. Like Nova just played insanely good. So very
They
good.
had
props
a
to them.
lot of hard hitters like Nunu, Hassan, and Toxin. They were messing.
All of them
people
were
up.
playing.
They were.
All of them were playing phenomenally, and it was like it
think-
was very fun to watch.
I think the one thing that I'm hoping Bridgewater starts working on is to adapt to the situation.
Definitely.
Because throughout the two games, the first game, Nova continued to do the same exact push over and over again. But the problem was, Bridgewater just continued for some reason not catch on to that and just kept on sending people away when they could have needed it. Because Nova can continue to overwhelm them with people with abilities, weapons, and things like
Definitely.
that.
Yeah, they were able to get pretty easily overwhelmed there, but regardless, very well played from both
Very well
teams.
played. Very impressive.
But yeah, for the time being, I believe we're going to send it to a very quick break, and then we'll actually be back with an interview with
Yes.
one of BC's own players. So definitely stick around. We'll be back very soon.
Welcome back. We took our little 5-minute break, and now I am here. I am joined here with.
Snap very nicely.
How do you think that game went?
So map 1, we were just coming into it, not sure what to expect. Obviously, inaugural season, not 100% sure what's going on. But I think we took it well. We had a couple rounds that could have went either way.
Yeah.
But overall, I think we got good experience, and I think we can improve on it.
What were the strengths of your team during that game? What do you think y'all excelled at? Or
The comms were fantastic
Uh-huh.
the entire game. We had great positioning throughout most of the game. I think there's a lot of things that we can improve on, but that was the main key things that we had going for us.
What were some of the weaknesses?
Being able to hold a site, that was kind of rough. Obviously, they've probably been playing a lot longer together. So they were a lot more coordinated. They knew what to do. So I think that's the main thing we need to work on.
I think that, in my personal opinion, while watching, the one thing that stood out to me was that, like, in the first round, Nova continued to do the same exact push, but it seemed like you guys didn't like adapt to it fast enough.
So
until it became like too overpowering.
we stuck with the game plan for
Mhm.
the first couple. I think it was for about first like 8 rounds, and then we kind of realized they weren't going to change anything up.
Mhm.
So we started moving people around, and we ended up getting 3 rounds in that
Yes,
first half.
you did.
So that was huge.
What do you think was like the biggest moment in the game, like the coolest moment that you thought?
I think it was Neon Bryce Klein going in with that one tap headshot to win us the last round
that
in the
was-
first
that was-
half of Breeze. I think that was cold.
that was beautiful. That was very unexpected, because I looked at the
And-
chat and all I saw was like, you guys wanna do a melee battle?
Oh
And I
yeah,
was
that
like,
was that.
oh.
So we had the idea for that at the beginning before the game
And
started.
then I thought that was gonna be the end of the jokes, but then the final round they just come out there.
Yeah, was not expecting that at all. Was not.
That was very
It
unexpected.
was a
That
great
was
great way to end the game.
that
Though
was a
we all
very-
had fun.
very-
Great experience
very
overall.
nice and cool way to end the game overall. Now, of course, there's gonna be more in the future. So what are you guys' game plan? How will you improve from this? What have you taken?
So we're just gonna regroup next week
Uh-huh.
at practice. We're gonna go over our game plan. Before today's match started, we weren't quite sure what maps were our strongest, but I think we've got that now. We're gonna go over some specifics, and
Mhm.
we're gonna go get American University next week.
Exactly. So, thank you all for tuning in to our first Valorant stream. And I truly hope that you join us for many, many more streams, because trust me, it is going to get even better. My name is Irene. My gamer tag is Indigo, and I am currently signing off. Thank you so much, and have a wonderful rest of your night.